Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here, and we are back for another episode 5 of Bridgerton. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. So back at the Bridgerton household, we see Daphne ripping off these clothes. Honey, she is tearing these clothes off because y'all know she was at the duel the night before. So she's rushing to get out all of these dirty clothes so she can lay back in the bed and act like she was asleep, like she'd been there the whole time. So maid Rose comes in, sees her, asks about where her, Daphne asking about where her mama is. They say, she goes to see her mom. Her mom not really feeling good, but she tells her girl, listen, honey, okay, I am engaged. Her mama's like, oh, okay. She's not that excited because she thinks that she's married to the prince, but she's trying to be excited for her daughter. She was like, no, girl, it's not him. It's the duke. So her mom gets really excited when she finds that information out. But as they're talking, Daphne tells her, like, girl, I'm not trying to wait a month to get married. I'm trying to get married, like, this week. Her mom's like, well, okay, girl, I'll try and figure some stuff out, see if you can get married in 3 days, period. But because of that, her mom is starting to think that she's pregnant. And Daphne don't really know what's going on, but we do. And we like, girl, this girl is not pregnant, but she is a fool. Okay. Now, you got Queen Charlotte walking the halls thinking that life is grand, honey. She's over here like, ooh, Daphne is going to be married to my nephew, honey. And I am never wrong. I am right yet again, honey. Then Miss Whistledown, okay, in that paper she read that, girl, this is furthest from the truth, honey. You will be wrong yet again because it's already put out there that she will be marrying the duke. So you were wrong again, girl. Now, the prince told her when he got to her, he was like, girl, listen, I'm finna go ahead and go. I'm finna leave. The girl that I was interested in, she about to get married to somebody else. And, the queen is like, oh, so that's what we doing? He was like, yeah, I'm finna go. And she was like, honey, you may accept defeat, but that's not what it is that I do, honey. Okay, so basically she still wants him to try and marry Daphne only so that she could be proven right across the land. Okay, girl. Now, back at the Bridgerton household, you see Eloise and Daphne walking, and they're talking about Daphne's upcoming wedding and everything. And Daphne tells her, like, she's setting the standard for what's to come for her sisters. And Eloise was like, girl, you ain't setting no standard for me, honey, because I ain't even trying to be married to nobody. Let's be clear about that, boo. Okay. Next thing you know, Prince Frederick arrives because he wanted to see Daphne. Daphne pulls him off to the side, apologizes to him and everything. And he was like, no need to apologize. He understands or whatever. But he wanted to know whether or not she was being forced into this marriage by the duke. And she said, no, if anything, I forced him. He said, excuse me? She was like, well, what I meant to say is that we were so in love. We were so in love with each other that nothing could keep us away from each other. Not even a charming, young, handsome prince like you. And I'm like, girl, get the hell out of here. She definitely cleaned that up. Okay. And, he respected her decision. He dismissed himself. But when he left, you could see it all on Daphne's face that she wonders whether or not she really made the right decision. Now, Daphne and the Duke all at the park. Okay, now Duke done arrived late to the park because he drunk, honey. He ain't trying to marry her. He over here trying to figure out what the hell he done got himself into. He's trying to figure out what the hell he got himself into. So they stroll in, then they're approached by some people, and they're like, oh, you guys make a really nice couple. Oh my God, you're gonna have a beautiful family. Daphne's face looks cracked because she knows that's probably going to be impossible for her to have a family because that man has told her on countless occasions that that's not what he wanted. So she reaches to grab his hand, talking about how they so happy. He kind of pulls away and everybody sees it. So he thoroughly embarrassed her. So back at the Featherington household, Lady Featherington walked over to her husband and said, honey, the modiste, yeah, the one that make these dresses, honey, she sit up here saying that she ain't finna give us no dresses until you make a payment. So what's going on? You need to catch up on your bill. He was like, girl, if you don't get out my face, honey, all these dresses these girls got around this house, maybe they can re-wear one of the ones they already got. She was like, oh, it's like that. So she snatches the tobacco out his hand and said, well, maybe you could miss out on your tobacco too. Okay, you ain't got money for this stuff, but you always got money to find. You always can find some money for this tobacco. Okay, then, we see you. Period. So next thing you know, Colin Bridgerton, he walks over. He comes over. He wants to see Lady Marina, Lady Thompson. So he's talking to her and everything, talking about, oh, I always bring you flowers. You're never surprised. Maybe next time I'll bring you something new, maybe some tomatoes or something. And here go Penelope. She doesn't like tomatoes. And she, Marina like, girl, that is a lie. I love tomatoes, girl. What are you talking about? And then Penelope was like, well, Colin, we can get some great tomatoes. Yeah, from Greece, so maybe after your travel, you should bring something back. And he was like, girl, I thought about that, but I'm taking a break from traveling. Oh, well, you were so interested and you loved traveling. What's up with that? And he was like, girl, I feel like I may have more things here that I'm going to miss, like Miss Marina. Okay, girl, why you all in my beeswax? You need to boop back up. Marina and Colin continue to talk. Next thing you know, we see little Miss Penelope get up and say, oh, Mom, Okay, I don't think, do you think it's a good idea for them two to continue to see each other? Her mama's like, girl, he's fine. You know what I'm saying? She got a suit or whatever, whatever. And she's like, well, girl, I feel like it's a waste of his time, though. It's a waste of his time knowing that she's pregnant and she needs to hurry up and get married based on her situation. You know what I'm saying? And it was in that moment that I saw Penelope being exactly like her mama. So as much as we may watch this show and look at little Miss Penelope as like a little sweetheart, a soft-hearted person, oh, he shouldn't do her like that. Oh, I hope she finds love. Oh, girl, fuck little Penelope. Because after I saw that, she showed me that she's just like her motherfucking mama. Okay, she gonna let that little shit fool y'all, which is how she gets so much information, because people always sit up there and they discredit her or act like, oh, she's nobody, oh, she's this, oh, she's that, yeah, so I'm not, Miss Penelope pissed me the hell off. I'm like, girl, I'm not even featuring you, honey. So it's the wedding day. Daphne is up there, so it's fitting day for the wedding. Daphne is at the Modis trying to get fitted, honey, trying to get everything together. Next thing you know, Miss Cressida walks in. She's speaking to her. Daphne said, Mama, give us a second, girl. I need to talk to her about some fabric. So she go in the fabric room. Cressida mentions the midnight stroll she took in the garden, honey. She know what she did last night, and the other day, okay? And then Daphne's like, girl, I don't even know what you're talking about, girl. That ain't got nothing to do with me, honey. What is you talking about, girl? And Cressida's like, girl, you know very much what I'm talking about, honey. You sat up there and you was going after the Duke. And Cressida's like, well, girl, you know exactly what I'm talking about, honey, because you sat up there and you started messing around with the prince, girl, trying to make the Duke jealous, okay? And then you turned around and took the Duke to the garden and forced him into marrying you, honey. Daphne was like, well, girl, you may want to be careful with the stuff that you say out your mouth, honey. Keep in mind, boo, I'm about to be a duchess, and you gonna be sitting in the same spot, not being picked and not being chose and being looked the hell over, okay, girl? So you may want to be very careful. Now, do you want to be friends with a duchess, or do you want to be enemies with a duchess? Which one is it, honey? Let a girl know, period. And then what's her name, Cressida was like, well, girl, you can talk all that big talk all you want to, honey, but you the one who trying to force the Duke to marry you, girl. Let's be very clear about that. And we already know that's not a man that likes to be forced into anything. So good luck on trying to get married, because I don't even think that's gonna happen. Well, why is it? Oh, okay then. So, you know, Cressida walks off, going about her business, because she done put Miss Daphne in her place. And when Miss Cressida was sitting up there telling her the events of how things was laid out, I was like, oh, girl, some of that is true, honey. It may not be in that order, girl, but you was hitting the nail, honey. So later on, we see Anthony and Simon at the church. They're trying to talk to the Archbishop because they're trying to get his permission to go ahead and marry them early. Well, the Archbishop pretty much was like, hell no. But before we got to his hell no, Simon and Anthony were talking about the whole wedding or whatever, talking about the dowry. And Simon was like, honey, you ain't got to give me no dowry. I won't accept it, okay? If she's about to be my wife, then I'm going to take on full responsibility, and I take that very seriously. So, I mean, if you want to put it away for her in a trust, that's on y'all. But I'm not going to take no money. And why? That makes no sense. I never agreed with stuff like that anyway, for men to be paid to marry a woman, you know? So y'all could just keep that. So long story short, y'all know the Archbishop told him hell no. And we all know who exactly sent that order out. So once they get to the Bridgerton household, you know, they really pressed about it. And especially Miss Daphne, because Miss Daphne is like, we got to hurry up and do this, okay? Because she already knows she done let this man slip through her fingers one time. She don't want him to slip again. And she also don't want the truth to be slipped out through to Lady Whistledown. So Lady Danbury comes over for dinner. She learns about what just happened about the Archbishop turning it down. And it was like, girl, Lady Danbury was like, girl, that ain't have nothing to do with the Archbishop. That was everything to do with the Queen. But let me tell y'all what I think y'all need to do, honey. What y'all need to do is go to the Queen and convince her and let her know how madly in love y'all are, so that she can change her mind and go ahead and allow y'all to get married. Okay, so y'all need to go on over there and have a conversation with this lady, period. So they gonna take her up on that offer. Now back at the Featherington household, Lady Featherington decides she finna go up there and talk to Marina. She like, girl, listen, I got Lord Rutledge coming over here, honey, and you got until this Saturday to get your together and act like you excited to marry him. She like, girl, why I gotta marry him when I got a suitor already, which is Colin? And Lady Featherington is like, girl, he ain't nobody, because he got two older brothers that ain't even trying to get married. So I doubt if he trying to get married too, girl. And that's on P. And then she was about to walk out. Like I said what I said, you gonna marry Lord Rutledge, and that's gonna be what it is. So then Marina said, well, girl, wait, I got a proposition for you, honey. How about this? How about I get him to marry me within a certain amount of time or whatever? She was like, well, girl, that's not gonna work, because, girl, listen, if he does marry you, y'all not gonna have sex till later, and you still gonna have a baby before that happens. She was like, but not unless we have sex prior to that. you know, before they actually get married. And she was like, oh, so you gonna seduce him? She was like, yeah. She was like, give me some time to see if my plan working. If my plan don't work, then girl, I'll just go marry this man. I'll just let it be what it is, honey. So how about that? And she takes her up on her offer. She gives her until Saturday to try and actually get a proposal out of Colin. Now, Queen Charlotte goes to see the king. Y'all know the king got some mental issues or whatever. He calls her Lottie. She goes and sits down next to him. And they're just having small talk. He's asking about little George. She's like, oh, he's doing great. He's getting bigger. Then he asked her about the daughter. I believe her name was Amelia or Emily or something like that. Emmy or something. And he asked about the daughter, and she was a bit confused because she thinking that everything is good. He's getting back to himself because, you know, he's been having some, I guess, Alzheimer's or whatever he got going on. And she quickly learns that that's not the case. So when she says that, you know, our daughter has been dead for quite some time, oh, baby, she said the wrong thing, because when I tell you he cut up. He cut up and he cut up on her and said that she was the one that killed their child. So, honey, she got up and she just went ahead and left, and he was out there throwing a whole fit. So the wedding day comes. They do get married. Congratulations to the Duke and the new Duchess. I did find it interesting that they had more people at the reception than they had at the wedding. Okay. So at this reception, we see Penelope and Marina, because Penelope out here trying to point out other candidates for her to choose from. Okay, and she's like, girl, I'm not choosing no other candidates, honey. I want to be with Colin. And Penelope is like, girl, you can't be with Colin because that's my friend. And she was like, girl, I hear what you're saying, but I don't give a damn about that other stuff. I don't care at all, because I'm not going to marry this old ass man. And right now, Colin is the best option that I have. So then the mama comes over, Lady Featherington comes over, and she's like, girl, listen, Lord Rutledge done got engaged already. So your plan that you got with Colin, honey, it better work. So Marina finds Colin, goes over there, talks to Colin, tells him that she's a little hot. They go to a separate room. They close the door, whatever. They almost went there, but then Colin wanted to have respect for her. When she got ready to leave, he asked her to marry him. And she was like, okay, let's do it. And he was like, we'll marry at the end of the season. She's like, the end of the season, honey? I ain't got no time for that SHI. Okay, so they're going to have to figure that part out. But he told her to not tell anyone, because he didn't want anybody to know yet, since it was his sister's event. He wanted it to be all about his sister and her wedding. He didn't want nobody else to know. Eloise over there talking to Lady Danbury, because she assuming that Lady Danbury is Lady Whistledown. Okay, and Lady Danbury like, girl, I am not Lady Whistledown. When you find out the tea, honey, please let me know. Okay, then you hear the Queen Charlotte overhearing everything. She asked Eloise, and who is Lady Whistledown? And Eloise like, girl, I don't know. She was like, well, what information do you got? Eloise was like, girl, you want all the information I got? Yes, I do. I want to know, honey, because I'm trying to find out who she is too. I did not mention this part, so let me mention this real quick. So at the wedding, Benedict runs into Mr. Granville. Mr. Granville introduces him to his wife. Come to find out, Benedict smashed his wife already. So here's the part that I did not mention. Benedict was invited to a party by Mr. Granville. When he was at that party, it was a sex party, pretty much, okay? Everybody smashing. So he runs into Genevieve, which is, I guess, the modiste or whatever, right? He runs into her. They're having small talk. Next thing you know, they all kissing, feeling up, touching up, rubbing up on each other. And then they're trying to find a room. He busts into one of the rooms, and we see Mr. Granville with a whole nother man. That's his boo, okay? And Genevieve, which is the modiste pulls him and brings him over to a bench because they couldn't find a room. And she's like, we just gonna do it right here on this bench like everybody else. They out in public. Let us be out in public with it too. And yeah, so the person that she sits him next to and he ends up kissing happens to be the wife of Mr. Granville. So they just have a pretty much open marriage. They all be getting it down to the ground. And that's just what it is that they do, honey. So Anthony approaches Daphne at the wedding and tell her, girl, listen, the Duke refused the dowry. He would not accept it on your behalf or whatever. Like, he would not accept it. He was like, he gonna take care of you or whatever. But listen, y'all gonna have a great family. Y'all gonna have some cute kids and all that other good stuff. And she was damn near about to faint because nobody else knows the conversation that they had, okay, about the fact that he ain't about to have no kids with her. So she's pressed about it. Then next thing you know, we see Daphne running up to her room, damn near can't breathe. Her mama goes in there talking to her and finally tries to tell her about sex, trying to tell her about the things that happen between a man and a woman. And she having such a hard time getting it out. And I'm like, girl, why is this so hard for you, honey? Why is it so hard to tell your daughter she's become of age, she's married? Why is it so hard for you to tell her? Then she mentioned some puppies. When they stayed somewhere and they had a dog and the dog had puppies and da-da-da. And the girl was like, Okay, definitely was confused, honey, because I know I was. Then next thing you know, the carriages came. The carriages came to take them away because the Duke and the Duchess is now headed off to their place. So once they get to the house, they're really avoiding each other. The Duke and the Duchess is really avoiding each other. Really, he's the one that's avoiding her. He the one who ain't really have much to say to her. So he comes to her door, tells her about dinner, how they should go down to dinner, and she's mad and pressed about it. And this is what's confusing to me. So she's like, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting. And it's like, y'all can't tell me Daphne don't know about SEX. Y'all can't tell me she don't know about it for real, based on her energy and the vibes that she gets for him. Like, Daphne, you can't be that stupid to not know that that's how babies come. Okay, girl, you can't be that clueless. So, she is upset because she's like, I've been waiting for a moment with you. I've been waiting to talk to you. I've been waiting for me to know more about you. Like, I've been waiting for you to give me something, but you haven't. And he said that everything that she tried to bring up, he had an excuse for, saying, oh, well, this is what was happening with me, or that what was happening with me. And I'm sure it was true. And so he said that he was really beating himself up because he felt like he trapped her into a marriage. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You ain't trap her in that. And she was like, no, if anything, I trapped you. I said, speak up, honey. Speak up when you need to speak up, girl, because it was definitely all you. You definitely trapped him into this marriage. You were highly aware of everything, what he will and will not do, or was not interested in doing, and you trapped this man into that situation. So I'm glad that you acknowledge that, okay? So he mentions that he has a burn for her. He burns for her or whatever. And it's like, how you burn for her, but your actions don't ever show it? And then she's like, I burned for you. And long story short, honey, they ended up smashing it down to the ground, okay? She was learning, you know, this is what it is that naturally happens between a man and a woman, okay? He was like, girl, have you touched yourself? Like I told you to, okay? And so he took her hand and put it down there, girl, and then they just got it all to the break of dawn, honey, okay? And she felt amazing afterwards. She was shocked, shook, and she ain't stupid. She knew what it was. She knew what it is, okay? So that's what happened between the Duke and the Duchess. She got her Duke and he got his Dutch, okay? And that's just what that is, all right? That's all I got. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.